Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we draft. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way, we should be asking ourselves some critical questions.
Are we still enjoying 3 square meals a day? While our boys on the ground lack the basic gear they need to resist the occupiers?
Are we still living a life of luxury and comfort while our brave restoration forces lack medical supply?
DML Endele. And we of Donga Mantunga are the people of Kambe Division, the ones that saw with him that going east was going to be a problem for us. Not so much that we were asking that we should go west, but we already saw that going east was going to be a problem for us. We saw this vision with the people of Kumba. There's no Kumba now. Kumba has since gone into Kupe Manunguba, Meme, whatever, retransformed by the colonials. But Kambe division, as it was then, I don't know how many times Dr. EML Indele came to convince the people of Kambe division about the bad choice of going east, but the people of Kambe division, which without any change in terms of territory, is still the Donga and Mantung division. It's now Donga and Mantung division. The exact copy of what used to be Kambe division. Maybe in the introduction, they wanted me to reiterate that Donga Mantung, the county called Donga Mantung County, DMC for short, is the old man of Ambazonia, like other people say. What the old man can sit and see, the young, even if they climb up a mountain, they may not be able to see. So with Donga Mantung, we just don't sit down and see in terms of the physical now. We sit down and we see in terms of the future to come. So in 1961, it was Kambe division, now Donga and Mantung division, or county, that said going east is a bad choice. And today, every other person has come around to discover that, yes, Kambe division was right in 1961 to say going east is a bad choice. So, Your Excellency, Dr. Sako, coming from Endless land, the rest assured that we today are the inheritors of our ancestors who in 1961 recognized the bad choice of going east. And we will be doing our best, not really our little best, but our ultimate best to make sure that we all get to Boya and then tell the story of the misfortune that took us east and gave us all of this headache to free ourselves as a people who should have been freed as far back as 1961.
For those of you watching on the
Mr.
social
President,
media, you can start sharing.
I have
The
no
president is
rest
coming up in a
option
few minutes.
except to say,
You're
welcome
the oldest
again
man in the county
to
is
Donga Mantunga,
representing him. So we'll
where
call on
we
you
have
to
met
share. For those of
many
you watching
times
on
before.
Facebook and on YouTube, we'll
You
be having the president in a few
and your
minutes.
entourage, including your cabinet, including your advisors, now that you are here, join us in reaching out to our friends to say that they all need to help the old man of Ambazonia. They all need to give the old man of Ambazonia the support so that they can continue to depend on the old man's vision of seeing into the future for Ambazonia. Mr. President, feel very welcome with your entourage. Witness the effort of our draft and then go back, recharge, re-energize to lead the struggle of bringing us to Buea and attending our freedom from the colonization of the people east of the Mong. We look forward to a wonderful draft in our county, and we look forward to all the support you have been gathering for us, that we hope you will continue to gather for us to attain the task of our liberation. Thank you very much. Feel very welcome.
Nearly there. Some interlude of music, please, so that when number one is speaking, we have 3 digits on attendance. Interlude of music.
Yeah, thank you, Pa. It's supposed to be Pa the King at this point. That's who we're waiting for. Thank you, Pandy Manjo. Spot
Excellent
on.
presentation, Daddy. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You speak like the oracle you are.
Excellent.
Interrupt your music, please. Privilege.
Yes,
We want the
Pa the King.
attendance to be 100 before number one comes in.
Permit me to acknowledge my Vice President, Mr. Eric Ate, the Speaker of the Interim House of Representatives, Dr. Winnie Lobati, and my presidential entourage. The County Coordinator for DMC, Comrade Ruel Nyungwi, Nkambe LGA Interim Chair Tata Johnson, Ndu LGA Chairman Dr. For Julius, the IHR representative for now for DMC, Honorable Dan Fulani. My collaborators in central administration, Senior Presidential Advisor Pa Ndimanjong, Director of Special Duties at the Presidency, Dr. Tata Johnson, DSS Savannah Command, Mwentu Bashi. My dear people of Donga Mantung, fellow Amazonians, it is an honor to be with you today in this great historic Savannah County as we continue our patriotic task to free our homeland. Let us start by remembering those early patriots who lost their lives decades before this liberation struggle was reignited in 2016. I'm thinking of the patriotic civilians who were massacred in Du in 1992 on the orders of this same genocidal colonial regime. I'm also thinking of the victims of the more recent Ngabu massacre, the innocent children, women, and men massacred in Ngabu in 2020, and the numerous civilians who have been summarily executed for just being Amazonians. We honor your memory. For our heroes and heroines who are falling in battle in this great county and the entire territory, you have a special place in our hearts. Amazonia will never forget your patriotic bravery in defending homeland. A moment of silence, please. May their souls rest in power till we cross the finish line. Donga Mantung, like some other counties, has suffered leadership crisis from inception. There's no better driver in every movement than the leadership. A proactive, dedicated, and trustworthy leadership that does not play for the gallery, that does not lose direction in the midst of crisis, that is not suddenly provoked to abandon the mission in the middle of the raging sea. A sacrificial leadership that demonstrates a good sense of judgment on the side of truth and is ready to steer the collective aspirations above its private enterprise and is ready to answer at the gate when the enemy knocks. Leadership is like the eye of the body. When it cannot see, the body is left in darkness. When it is closed or confused, motion stops or goes in circles. When it is fearful, the body shrinks. When it is plucked out of the body survives not only by the mercy of its admirers, but by the caprices of its enemies. And let me speak to those who left us and are now at the verge of abandoning the struggle, many of whom I hear still think we are good, but for certain issues they disagree with. Some say their problem is there are certain people around the president who are bad. Maybe that is correct. But can anyone show me a leader in the world, including the Pope, who does not have some so-called bad people around him? If what you are concerned about, if what frightens you around me is a phenomenon found everywhere, don't you think your judgment is flawed? Ask them if they are not experiencing it now as we speak. If you quit the struggle because of a common problem, what should we call you? You can call that any name, but you want generations far removed to make a judgment. They will call you a quitter. You will be numbered not amongst the heroes, but amongst the cowards of our time. Donga County is a very strategic county in the northern part of our territory. Its importance as a border county with neighboring Nigeria, the Nigerian state of Taraba, cannot be overemphasized. It is a major gateway to the French Cameroon strategic region, serving as a conduit for economic and logistic interactions between our two neighbors. The colonial military base was established in this county decades ago to contain the people of Dogamanto in case of an uprising. Thank you, valiant Ambazonian Restoration Forces of Ndu, Misaje, Nwa, Nkambe, and Ako, for challenging these occupiers, for resisting the enemy despite the odds. Thank you for raising the flag of Ambazonia in that erstwhile colonial preserve. Thank you for letting those regime apologists facilitating the ongoing genocide in Dogamanton County know that it will not be long before justice catches up with them. Genocide facilitators like Ngala Gerard, his co-conspirators resident in the United States and others, being used by the colonial regime in Yaoundé to massacre our people, will surely face the wrath of Amazonia and the full weight of justice when the time comes, and that is not far away. Therefore, today's draft is special because of the necessity to unclamp the stranglehold of the colonial regime and her military in the county of Dogamanto and take total control of important gateways to Amazonia on all sides. Today's draft is special because it is the only way we can enable our ARFs in Dongamanton County to protect the vulnerable people of this important county who have suffered enormously from the organized barbarism of Paul Biya's genocidal regime through numerous massacres and burning of villages and settlements. Today's draft is also special because we have to respond to the rising phenomenon of cross-border importation of mercenaries from neighboring Nigeria by desperados, desperate La République du Cameroon's gangster regime. These are coming in disguised as Fulani headsmen to massacre our innocent Amazonian citizens. So liberating Dogamanton is a must for strategic reasons, for the safety of our people and their property and cattle in that entire zone. We know what to do and how to do it. It's just a matter of adequate resources. Our national strategic security plan with respect to Dogamanton is comprehensive and robust. All counties should help us to get things right in Dogamanton County with a sense of urgency for the good of our struggle. Dear ARFs of Dogamanton, I salute you for your progressive patriotic dedication to liberating our motherland. Thank you, brave compatriots. I want to encourage you and all our ARFs not to be scared by enemy propaganda, using scare tactics to cow you to a corner. You are the lions of this jungle. All you need is vigilance and discipline. Your intelligence network is your first firewall. I think even though we have announced it, La République cannot find 1,000 foolish Amazonians today to recruit, train, and send into the heart of the battlefront to carry out their dirty work. If that's what they wanted to do, they would have recruited more from their failed DDR program. Whatever the case, how long do you think it will take for you to find a spy amongst you? I urge our population to remain collaborative, to collaborate more with our ARFs on intelligence so that we don't mistake you for accomplices of La Republic. As your CIC, I have watched how you have metamorphosed during these few years. The ill-trained Bulubeti talks no more parade the streets of Ndu Noir, Nkambe, Mesaje, and Ako with an abandoned feeling of security. No, the recent tactical exploits by ARFs in Donga, bringing down enemy forces and making sure ghost towns and lockdowns are enforced in the greater part of the county, are just snippets of the valiant efforts, tenacity, and dedication of our forces. So I say thank you. Imagine how much more will be achieved if the financial means were readily available to continuously equip, upgrade, and motivate them. Under the new administrative and defense leadership of DMC at this time, I believe much more shall be done by our ARFs this year. Your videos are all over social media to testify to your heroic resistance in DMC. The intimidation of colonial officers has not deterred your unquenching determination to take total control of your county. We are gathered tonight to encourage you and to make that happen. And I beg all of us, the financial warriors present here tonight, to go the extra mile and support Donga County. A liberated Donga County will be a devastating blow to the colonial regime in Yaoundé. And we have what it takes in manpower, in terms of manpower, to deliver that blow. Without any iota of doubt, our brave sons and daughters of the ARFs in Donga are determined and fearless. Let us support and encourage them with our financial contributions beginning tonight. Sons and daughters of Nkambe, Nwa, Ndu, Mesaje, and Ako, fellow compatriots, thank you for standing with your interim government. We were on a relatively smooth sail vis-a-vis prosecuting this liberation war after you drafted in 2020 and in 2021. Our national strategic security plan was in full gear despite some challenges in certain counties. We were mostly focused on our local ingenuity. Since then, we have inflicted the highest pain on our enemy. The gorilla can only compete in his natural environment. Take it out of its environment, it lacks everything. So too do you, our ARFs in the trenches. Please don't fight the enemy's war. Lure the enemy into your game. Our strength is in our versatility and our ingenuity. The enemy must not be able to predict your next move. The element of surprise in the battleground with innovative weaponry will send more of those La République Betty Boulou talks back. They should send them back in body bags than conventional mismatches. We hear the enemy's analysts have already started screaming on their colonial media with desperation. And they are almost unanimous in upgrading what they had dismissively termed a crisis in no zone, I don't know what that means, to now a conflict. Our strategy of economic sabotage is biting them. It is affecting their economy and their social fabric as the colonial coffers are progressively dwindling. The Yaoundé colonial regime has maxed its credit cards. Today, almost all their major financial cash cows, notably their parastatals, are on the brink of bankruptcy, overloaded with debts. Even their once treasured financial cash cows like Sonara and CDC, which brought in most of the financial resources they used to buy arms and kill our people, are now adding more to their colonial national debt than helping them to kill us. Even the crude oil they continue to steal from Amazonia is mostly used to service their foreign debt and line up the pockets of a few corrupt Bulu Beti armchair robbers. Our strategy to sabotage their war economy is having great devastating impact on this war. In frustration, even their clergymen now lament on pulpits as they bury their sons who made their doom in our land of no return, as they bitterly chastised the senile diaper-wearing nonagenarian dictator Paul Biya for declaring a senseless war that has turned the whole of Cameroon into a mass grave. They are beginning to feel the pain they willy-nilly inflicted on us for the past 60 years. On the diplomatic front, we were winning sympathizers around the globe. Parliaments and congresses of nations that matter have churned out resolutions after resolutions in favor of a permanent just peace in Amazonia. We are, however, giving La Republique the chance to come to the table from now till December 31st, 2022. The international community must put La Republique under maximum pressure to do the right thing and stop buying time with lies and propaganda to continue the killing of our innocent civilians. Otherwise, the world must look for other viable alternatives to resolve this conflict, and there are many in the toolbox of the international community. In a race-blind world, what is good for Ukraine should have been automatically good for Amazonia. Those supporting Ukraine with billions of dollars to fight against annexation should tell us why we are treated differently, why our fate should be left in the hands of the annexationists. We were cruising through the best year in our struggle in 2021 when wolves in sheep's clothing hiding amongst us surfaced. They had a secret agenda to hijack the cockpit and land the plane elsewhere, not Boya. Unfortunately for them, pillar supporters in this great county fought for the IG to maintain control. You resisted them with every ounce of your righteous energy. Those of you who questioned my rationale for not endorsing their non-existent election model in the leadership of a liberation movement, please enjoy the rest of your day with the answers you can now see all over social media on Facebook and WhatsApp. Please enjoy. Amazonia, like Ukraine, is fighting a war of annexation. I thought we could learn a lesson from Ukraine, Eritrea, or East Timor. Elections divide people, cement rivalries, and create enmity amongst comrades in arms. And that is not what you need in any liberation movement. Those who peddle such are either ignorant, egoistic, or spoilers. You will know them by their fruits. Let me give you some homework. Presidential elections are constitutionally due in Ukraine in 20 months. Watch and see if Ukrainians will be organizing any general elections to vote a new president to replace their wartime president, Zelensky. Or they will suspend elections and instead focus on the mobilization to liberate Ukraine. Your guess to my question tells us something about your revolutionary IQ. Those who cannot learn by instructions should learn through painful experience. This is sad. Amazonia is not an island, and our liberation war is neither the first nor the only one on earth. We have many classrooms to learn from. If any of you have ever doubted my call to stick to the truth and support this interim government as the voice of our liberation, the next 3 weeks will be a time for all your doubts to be cleared. Chris Mambi talk say, no be say I no like water. Now say if water touch my skin, you go sorry me. Water no fine for my skin. A fool will always find words to justify his stupidity. This clique of revolutionary clowns represents everything that is wrong in our liberation struggle. Divisiveness, manipulation, lies, egoism, ignorance, betrayal, and sellout. Their ongoing circus looks like a contest on Amazonia Got Talent, where pipers are auditioning for a traitor's contract from hidden judges and recruiters in Yaoundé. Unfortunately, some vulnerable Amazonians whose focus was derailed by these confusionists in our revolution are the worst victims of this anti-revolutionary assignment. Remember the reasons they gave you for breaking the house? Look at them now, just 7 months after. How many of those issues have they resolved? What have they done better or differently except churning lies, insults, smear campaigns, and luring our fighters to be killed? Where are General Kata and FMK who follow them? I want to invite all of you who have been sitting on the fence for some time now, listening to vain talkers who proclaim themselves the messiahs of our struggle, that can turn our stones into bread. Their comic relief is over. Now come back to your local government area and let's cook real food for our ARFs. Those stones will never become bread for our people, for our ARFs. They said our vehicle had a tire problem that needed to be fixed, but their vehicle, if they had any at all, is now kaput. Its engine has knocked. Dear financial patrons, your presence here week after week demonstrates your total commitment to our liberation struggle. This is a digital age. Our every word and action is recorded, not only in writing, but in audios and videos. When the history of this liberation struggle will be viewed or reviewed by subsequent generations, your children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren will read, they will listen and watch with pride how you sacrifice with dignity and consistency in your own way to free the land they will one day call their home, Amazonia. Therefore, do not minimize your contribution to this liberation struggle. You who have chosen not to give up or relent until we reach Boya, you are the heroes and heroines in your own right. You are the fuel without which this liberation plane will crash. You are the engine without which this liberation train will be immobilized. You are the heart without which this liberation body will die. You are the hope that keeps the most important component of this liberation engine, the ARFs, alive. You are the true patriots with a thirst for freedom. I thank you all for all you do for the liberation of our homeland, Amazonia. Let the 2022 draft for Donga Mantunga County begin now. Viva the great people of Donga Mantunga County. Viva our brave Amazonia Restoration Forces of Donga Mantunga. Viva the Federal Republic of Amazonia. And may God bless our beautiful country.
excellent. Thank you very much.
Our president.
Number one, oh yeah.
One and
Who
only.
gave our president?
Mr. President.
Wow, wow,
Number one.
charismatic.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number one,
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very well, sir. Very well.
Those who are sitting on the fence, let them
Right.
see where we are going.
Very well,
Yes.
senior.
Yes.
Very
Very
well.
well, very
Kwasa,
well, very well.
Kwasa.
Very well.
Yes.
Very well.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, fellow Amazonian, dear citizens of DMC. This is the time. This is the time. So much. Njagi money now for table. I think that way I just talk for country talk. So without further ado, we'll give them to the most able resource mobilizers on the surface of the earth. We no be no other than Ma Aringwa Ani Joe. When I take them, run with them. Thank you very much.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Mayor Curry. Thank you, everyone. And, all house protocol respected, Mr. President, and your cabinet, ladies and gentlemen, Amazonians, here we are. And I'm right in I'm not sure what part of Donga you are. I'm proudly sitting in Cambe Central, as Dr. Tata said, around Tabiket. Okay. Here we are. It's a bit late. We apologize for that, and we will do everything to catch up. But before I get my usher in my combi, I want Ambazonians to appreciate this wonderful lady who has, again, apart from all of what she's been through this year, we all know she is meant to be on a family holiday today. And